One tonight in San Antonio. Timberwolves and Spurs tied 2-2 coming in. Minnesota fans may not like it, but Wemby not serving any further time for that elbow to the jaw of Naz Reid on Sunday night. Played just 12 minutes in Game 4 after getting tossed in the second quarter. Greg Popovich on Monday caught up with Wemby as soon as the Spurs landed in San Antonio. And there's Pop in attendance on Tuesday. And right away, Wemby, corner three, got it. Spurs up by 5. What a start he had. A minute later, here come the Wolves. Ayo Dosunmu. Tough shot. Gets it to go. After the play, Dosunmu with some words for Wemby. And then Anthony Edwards joins in. Didn't bother Wemby a bit. Puts his head down. Hello. Spurs up 8 right away. A minute later, they're up 10. Wemby on Rudy Gobert. Couple Frenchmen getting into it there. Julius Randle looked very unamused. Scorching start for Wemby. 3-ball. Had 18 in the first quarter, his most in any playoff quarter of his career, and the Spurs up 12 at halftime. And then the Wolves counterpunching. Ant, tough shot over De'Aaron Fox, gets it. Cuts the lead to 5. A little later, Julius Randle. Great find to Jaden McDaniels for the 3-ball. A minute later, Wolves have cut it to 2. Gobert playing some defense, deflects the Stephon Castle pass, and the Dosunmu and a cash at the other end. So the Wolves tie it at 61. They ate up that 12-point deficit in a hurry, but the Spurs rally right back. Wemby sneaks it over to Julian Champagnie. Spurs by 3. A minute later, Keldon Johnson taking Edwards into some paint and muscling it on in there. The Spurs build the lead back up to 18 entering the 4th. And Castle picks a pocket and the finish. And then letting Ant hear about it. Some full-on playoff woofing in this series. Dylan Harper, the number 2 pick, showing off. Harper had 12. Wemby led the way with 27 and 17 boards. Spurs romp by 29 to take the 3-2 lead. Here's Wemby on how he felt before the game.
He was just getting 5. Obviously, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to have butterflies, So excitement is not something abnormal at this point in the playoffs.
I think there was a lot that's happened in the last 48 hours in the last game. And I think how that young man came out tonight and played in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations, not just in terms of his production, was extremely mature.
When it comes down to, who can be the more physical team or who can be the team that is able to, withstand those hits, I think he did a great job at that tonight. He didn't falter whenever, he got hit and he fell to the floor. We know that, even the strongest players in the league get hit and they fall. And when he's playing the way that he played tonight, it's hard to beat us.
A chunky stat sheet for Wembanyama, the 4th player in NBA postseason history with 25 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game before turning 23. Pretty good list here. You got Luka, you got Magic, you got then Lou Alcindor as a rookie for the Bucks back in 1970. Here's Ant with the Wolves' backs against the wall.
So you feel like the overall belief of, obviously you're down 3-2, you would have to come back here in a 7, but that you guys can kind of still climb out of this?
Yeah, I don't see nobody in the locker room that's too worried. At the end of the day, man, it's another basketball game. So you come out, put your boots on, and get ready to go to war.
Our NBA analyst, Danny Green, joins us now. Danny, you could tell right from the get-go that Victor was on a bit of a mission early on, just playing with a little bit of an edge. What did you make of his mentality and his performance tonight?
I loved it, man, and that's what I expected from him. That's what everybody expected from him. And I think he had a lot of that extra energy saved up from missing, Game 4 in Minnesota. So he came out like a, bullet out of a cannon, or however you want to call it, and was just filled with a lot of adrenaline. And he got his guys and his troops behind him to have 21 and 11 and a half, 16 points in like the first 6 minutes. Unheard of. It was an unbelievable performance, but he's nothing short of amazing. And he kept that going throughout the whole game. So I love the fact that he came with that mindset. He also instilled in his others. They weren't satisfied. Even though when they were up double digits, they made sure they kept their foot on the gas and showed a lot of maturity.
Now, the series now shifts back to Minneapolis for Game 6. The Wolves facing a potential elimination on their home floor. What does Minnesota need to do to push this to a Game 7, Danny?
Well, they got to find a way to kind of keep Wemby away from the basket, right? He's getting closer to the basket. He's rebounding. The biggest reason why they won Game 4 was the rebounds. And also they were able to attack the rim. It was 38 more drives or attempts on goal at the rim, which is second highest under Chris Finch. And the game before that was 32 kickouts, because he has that effect where he makes you kick out. You still got to attack him or find ways to get him away from the basket, but be physical with him. And then also offensively, Anthony Edwards has to find ways where he can beat the double team. You can't just concede to it, and they have to put him in position where it's harder to double, whether it's closer to the basket in the Malone spot or the free throw line area where he can easily find somebody for a kick out three. But they got to be more aggressive and assertive with him offensively and defensively of keeping Wemby away from the basket.
Game 6 Friday in Minnesota. We'll see how it all goes down.
James and the Giant Peach, but James and the giant question, what does the future hold for LeBron James and the Lakers? Their president of basketball operations, Rob Pelinka, just spoke to the media. This is new on SportsCenter.
I think in terms of LeBron, we probably haven't seen a player that has honored the game to the extent that he's honored the game. He's given so much to his teammates, to this organization. And the thing we want to do more than anything else is honor him back. And I think the first order of business there is allowing him to spend the time he needs to decide what his next step are. Does he want to play another year in the NBA? And that'll be, as he said to you guys last night, family time, I think time with his inner circle. And we just want to honor that for him. Of course, any team, including ours, would love to have LeBron James on their roster. That's a blessing in itself, just with what he does.
NBA insider Shams Charania is with us now. Shams, LeBron turns 42 in December. He's an unrestricted free agent for the first time since 2018. What can you tell us about his future?
Jay, LeBron James, I'm told, is going to take a period of time now to recalibrate and refocus and figure out exactly how he wants to move forward in his career. And it's going to consist of time away, decompressing, and spending time with his family. To wake up 4 in the morning for workouts. Does he still want to get to the arena 4 or 5 hours before a game? The way he's played, indications have been all season that LeBron James would have one more year left. But he's 41, just finished his 23rd season. He's going to spend some time and figure out, does he still have that commitment to the game to continue?
Okay, I want to ask you about Luka Doncic because he missed the final 15 games of the regular season and the playoffs with that hamstring injury. What does the offseason ahead look like for him?
Jay, it's going to be first and foremost getting healthy. He said he wasn't close and he was going to start contact workouts next week. And so that will now allow him this period of time to get healthy, get right. He's going to spend a lot of time in Slovenia with his family as well. Off the court, he has spent a lot of time involved in Lakers matters. Last offseason, he spent a lot of effort recruiting players like Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton. So he's going to be involved in their offseason as much as he wants to be. And the Lakers have made it clear that they want to continue to build and retool this team around Luka Doncic.
All right, let's go big picture on the Lakers aside from Luka and LeBron. What questions do they need to answer this offseason?
Well, the biggest question, aside from LeBron James's future, because of his salary slot, that's a massive position, is Austin Reeves and his future. He's due for a massive raise, a big contract extension this offseason as a free agent. He's expected to opt out and be in line for potentially a near max deal. He played at an all-star level, but then even beyond that, the Lakers will have 3 first-round picks to be able to trade. They're going to have a ton of cap space this offseason as well, so they will position themselves to be in the mix and make offers at the very least for players like Giannis Antetokounmpo and other stars that could become available.
Shams Charania, my brother, always a pleasure. Thank you.
That floor looks real nice, Jay.
Thank you, Henry.
By the way.
Thank you.
Is it the last time we could see this? Jay, can you imagine LeBron making the walk there through the tunnel at Crypto.com Arena? Wow, that's something to think about for sure. And a guy who knows LeBron, NBA analyst Iman Shumpert, is with us. You played with him for 4 seasons. Shump, on a personal level, what would you like to see him do?
Oh, man, I think that, 2 options for me. the storybook of him going back to Cleveland, of course, that would just, make the most sense. It's be very dear to our hearts. But as a basketball fan, if I got to see LeBron James play with Steph Curry, oh boy, I would love to sit there and watch that. I can't imagine a version of this where LeBron walks away from the game. I look at it and the way he played this year, the way he's taking care of his body, it seems like he's still hungry and he still knows how to make the adjustments. He still knows how to play the game the way it needs to be played. If he couldn't respect the game, he would walk away. So I definitely think there will be a future in it. It's just if it's available and it's there, after seeing them play in the Olympics together, I can't turn my head away from the possibility that he could play with Steph Curry.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that would just set the world on fire. I think the basketball world at least, but not the Lakers. You don't see that as a viable option?
I see it as a nice option. I mean, who wouldn't want to leave Los Angeles? Who wouldn't want to have the sun on them and have their family planted out here? I know he's got his compound and you're comfortable here. But LeBron James is a person that, one, takes challenges, and two, just when you think you know exactly what he's thinking, things could change. I just think that he loves a challenge, he loves a story, but most of all, he loves to be a winner. And, I just want to see that all come together.
Yeah, in terms of the Warriors, we know that Steve Kerr is now coming back to coach that team, and they seem determined to make another title run if possible. But you won a championship with LeBron back in Cleveland in 2016.
Yes,
so if he were to finish his career there, fill in the blank, a LeBron return to Cleveland would be?
Oh, man, such a sweet, sweet ending to the story. Just a beautiful ending to the story, man. I think that the way this could be written, to have won in Cleveland and then come home, to go around the league and, pay your dues, pay your respects to everybody again, all in that home uniform. I mean, it can't be any better feeling. It probably could be better weather, but not a better feeling.
That is for sure. That is definitely not debatable. Luckily, they play basketball indoors, so weather not a factor. All right, let's go to the team that swept them this season. Obviously, the Oklahoma City Thunder have won 8 in a row to start these playoffs, joining the 2017 Warriors and Cavaliers as the only teams to do so in the last decade. And obviously, as you know, those two teams met in the finals, and the Warriors won in 5. All right, so which team do you think that they await? The Spurs or the Timberwolves would challenge the Thunder the most?
I think that all season I've wanted to see the Spurs and Thunder go at each other in this Western Finals. I've wanted that in my heart. I think all basketball fans have had their eyes glued to that. But if you're not impressed and curious about what's happening over there in Minnesota, I just don't think that you're watching the playoffs that good. The way I'm seeing Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, how they respond to a challenge, how they take it to your chest, how they do not care about what's being said in the media, what their quotes are. Everything is in attack mode. Everything seems like it's aggressive with them. And as the playoffs have gone on, I've become more and more a fan of Rudy Gobert. So I honestly am tickled to death as a basketball fan, because now, no matter the winner of this Minnesota and San Antonio series, which I don't have San Antonio as a clear-cut win for them anymore. I think they might be in more of a dogfight than I once thought. But I am going to be excited at whoever comes out in that position.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 series is what it's come down to. And really interestingly, I think if you had been watching the Wolves, not just this season, but going back to what they've done recently in the playoffs, you had to figure this team is a very, very tough out. All right.
Without a doubt.
Let's go to the East. The Cavs tied up their series with the Pistons last night. Donovan Mitchell had 43 points and just a masterclass, 39 in the second half. It was so much fun to watch, but this team can't win on the road. They're winless in the playoffs. Yeah. And to advance, Shump, they are going to have to win a game in Detroit. Have they figured out the Pistons enough to win there?
I think defensively they're doing a great job with trying to contain Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is responsible for manufacturing so many points and just offense, period, over there, making decisions on who should get a score, who should not. And then at the end of the game, it's always his job to trade buckets with a superstar. I think that they've done a great job of pressuring him early on in games and then extending their defense past half court to make sure that by the third quarter, by the fourth quarter, which a lot of times the turnover flurries that are coming from Cade are coming in the third and fourth quarter, it's just because he's exhausted. I think he does a better job of controlling that when on his home court. So the Cavs are in for it. If they're going to keep this up, they're going to have to really get it going on the road.
Yeah, and James Harden, he was +9 in that game last night, 11 assists, just 2 turnovers for him.
That's all we need. That's all we need, James. That's all we need. Spider's going to do his thing, but if James Harden controls the assist-to-turnover ratio, usually the Cavs win.
Y'all notice the we there. I'm just saying. All right, Shump, back with you in just a bit, my friend.